All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm hoping I'm in here. Shalom and shalom and shalom, Sister Deborah. Uh, Everything looks okay so far. I'm trying to get this here squared away. Yes. All right, I'm here. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this evening with an awesome message. I want to say, and I'm going to say it several times, this might not be the page in which one need to be on. This is going to be a very powerful message and is subject to change your whole outlook of what you've been taught. I'm going to cover somewhat of what I was speaking on yesterday because I thought it was a beautiful thing that the Father came to me in the early morning hour and explained to me, uh, pretty much clammed on top of something that I have spoke about several times. But I like the way he clammed on top because he brought what you would call bright light and truth to the whole matter, to where it's something that can never be questioned. Is it true or is it a lie? With me, 100% of what the Father was telling me made 100% righteous truth. Everything he had said to me, I wasn't able to really write everything down like I should have, but I believe what he was saying to me was for me. And I believe he gave it to me because he know that if he speak it to me, that I would return it back into the ear that can hear. Many of you all out there don't have the ear to hear, okay? Nor the spirit to receive spirit and truth. Spirit and truth is not for your flesh, it's for your spirit. And this is the reason why individual can't receive what is being said because they've been taught so much uh, unrighteous deception to the word when righteous pull up, they take off running because they don't know what righteous is. They don't know what spirit and truth is. So they take off running. And do they need to take off running? Yes, you better run, especially in this message. You need to run and don't look back. Just take off running because this message is a message. It's going to cause one to be lostser than they probably already are. So this is a very powerful message Sister Deborah is going to bring forth, and it's going to rest on truth. I want to really break down what truth is, not so much as what it is to you today, because who gives a rat's behind? It's what it was before the foundation of the world, what it is, and what it's going to be. It still yet is truth. Okay. So, but before I go there, it's something he was showing me that I wanted to cover in Genesis, in the book of Genesis, in chapter 1. He also, that's one thing about the Most High. He has this way of adding things, not that he adding things to you in a way to confuse you, but he's adding things in a way that he's shining more light onto you, and it's a beautiful thing for him to take out that time and find the need that, hey, let me give you this, Deborah, let me give you this. And I'm so grateful and thankful because he don't have to do that. People, the Most High don't have to do anything. People also need to get out of this thing that he has to do A, B, C, and D, or he has to be this way and that way. How are you going to think or feel that the creator have to be a certain way when you don't even know him? And even if you did, you still don't know him. To expect him to be a way that you say he should be, and you don't know him. I know you don't know him, because to know him would know that I can't put those expectations on this creator. He's the beginning and the end. He's all power. He's the creator of everything. So I wouldn't be putting, one wouldn't want to or have the desire to put expectations on him. But believe it or not, 99.15 trillion, they do. They expect so much out of him, and they have not given into anything that he has even spoke to them to do. But yet they expect him to pour out so much to them. So this topic here is going to cause many to run. So I give you an opportunity and a minute to take off running now. Even if you got to run backwards, my advice to you is to run. I'm going to give you that minute to run. Because Sister Deborah finna come hard. And I'm coming out the book of Genesis, chapter 1. And when I have to go back there to the beginning, only way I'm going to go back and bring something out even powerful than I have ever is because the Father has given me something I never thought about. And I know I've covered this topic several times, but I'm going to cover it again. In the book of Genesis chapter 1, the Father say, Deborah, if they missed the beginning, they have missed the whole book. Not that the whole book is really his word, but he just letting you know where he started. He didn't let them mess it up to the utmost. Oh yes, they added a lot of things, but he wants you to get the beginning. He wasn't going to allow them to really smear up like they smeared up the whole book. They're not going to smear up the beginning because he's making a statement. Okay? He's making a statement. He's sending something out to all of us. And if we missed it, this is the reason why we're where we at today. Lost with the cause and without. Let's go. In the book of Genesis, the Most High wants to let you know something this evening. Maybe you all knew it, but I didn't. So I still give him the glory and honor for constantly revealing things to me and showing me things. You know, I have that type of personality, and not for much, so much as I'm not going to give that credit to the flesh, but the spirit of who I am, because I know he resides within me. I have this thing that I just take on whatever he gives me. When he gives it to me from the inside out, can't nobody say nothing to me. They can't say nothing to me. Not when the Father tap in to your inside and give you information from that level. And nobody on the outside of me can tell me nothing. So let's go. In the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And it says, and Yah said, let us make man in our image. Now, the Father was explaining to me, Deborah, you see that image? And I was like, okay, yes, that's an image of a spirit, right? Yes, it is. But with that image, I'm going to show you how what that image really represents. Okay? Now, he says here in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, and Yah said, let us make man in our image. Now, he's not telling this to angels, okay? He's not saying this to the Son of Man. He's saying this to himself, okay? People don't really understand who the Son of Man was. The Son of Man was what it says, okay? The Son of Man. The Son of Man, born of a woman, meaning flesh and blood, with the Son of here you have to be able to see with a spiritual eye that in verse 26 it says, and Yah said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. What the Father was sharing with me is the word image and likeness. Image and likeness means the same thing. Okay? Now, the Father wants you to know that the image was an image of a spirit, but it had other things connected to the image of who he was. Okay? He says, in our image and after our likeness. Image and likeness is still said the same thing. And let them, right there. He said, hold up. Do you see that? I said, but Father, they would never have caught that. Had they caught it, that would have been taken out. Okay? So I know that they didn't catch it. Right here it says, and let them. The Father is saying right there that them does not represent one gender. That them represent two different genders, but two. If he thought it was all about male, man, or male, then therefore he would say, and let him, them. He didn't say him or men, M-E-N. He didn't say that because he wanted you to understand he's only talking to the two entities in which he is created. And because man stole the identity of one of those entities, this is another reason why the world, it's where it's at. And it had nothing to do with Eve. Eve was always the scapegoat in the eyes of the Roman Catholic, the Jesuits, and the Jews. Okay? This was their scapegoat to design a book that they could add, take away, smear up, wipe down to where you would never be able to even understand what took place from the very beginning. Now here it says, and let them. So it shows you he's not talking about him as male or men. No, he's only dealing with what he's about to create. Okay? So he said, this is what he said to me. He said, see, Deborah, my whole creation, the purpose was male and female have the power on the earth. You see, he never created it where male. That's how they have gotten away with everything they have gotten away with. It's because they were never questioned. No one ever thought. But then again, the Ruach had not been in many people. That's why I still look at that narrow gate to be very narrow, because when you really think about it, you try to figure it out. Say, well, wait a minute now. The whole world, if they that blind, yes, they are. They that blind. And they blind to the deception and the lies. They love the lies. They live off, die off, eat off, drink off lies. So here it says, and let them. When I saw them, the Father, I didn't see it. The Father said, you see that them? That's showing you. Before I even created, it was for him and her. It never was for him. Okay? Have dominion. There go the power. He said, I've always wanted it to be male and female to have dominion on the earth. So look at all these thousands and thousands and thousands, thousands and thousands, thousands and thousand years exist out of the order of them and only him. You see? Now, he says, have dominion. So there go the power over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing. He gave the power to male and female, female and male. And that's how the Roman Catholics decided. That's how they decided to plan it out of the order of the beginning. You see? So when y'all stand back and y'all see this created, and y'all think his expectations should be a certain way, or it should be this way, or it should be that, you all have taken it out of his way, the way he created it, the way he designed it. And guess what? With truth in you. You see? Everyone that took the order out of order, they had truth in them. So they knew the truth of his creation. I'm going to take it deep. It's just they took it out of the order while they hold to truth. And what are you saying, Deborah? They knew the truth of the whole matter, that he created the dominion for male and female, not even giving one greater than the other. It never was spoken of. So they wasn't worried about it because they had a plan. That's what the Jesuits and the Roman Catholics and the Jews did. They made up a book to take away every domain that a woman would have. That the Father, now you got to understand, the Creator himself had given her from his authority to hers. Okay, now that's not the mystery in it, but watch this here. So here you see in 28, he sat and he told you the whole ideal of that image, Deborah, like unto us, it was for them. Never was it for him. It was always from the beginning, came out of my mouth, Deborah. From the beginning, before I said male and female, I already knew it was them. It wasn't men. It wasn't just for females. It was for them. And the them, listen to what happens. He said here, and over every creeping thing that creep upon the earth. So he given the power to male and to them. We're going to say them. Watch this here. So Yah created man in his own image. In his own image. But guess what? What they did not explain, because they took so many things out and smeared it and switched it, what is his image? See, people are in churches, they're in synagogues, they're in temples, they're in places of worship, they under priests, they under pope, they under pastors, they under bishops, they under apostles, they under evangelists, they under prophets and prophetess, Maureen and seers and watchmen. And guess what? If you ask them what is the image of Yah, here the mystery come, Yah, they wouldn't be able to tell you. So what do they have to tell you? The lie and the deception. Because the image has been said right here. Watch this here. Verse 27. So Yah created man in his own image. C-M-A-N. He's telling you he created M-A-N in his own creation. And in the image of Yah created. This is what they put in there. he, him. He, him. He created he, him. Watch this here. Male and female created he, them. They insist on putting he so you can still get caught up in the fact that his creation of his image is a male. No, it was not. Listen to this. So Yah created man in his own image, and in the image of Yah created male and female. You know why? It's no need to put he and him. Look at that, child. That was placed there to make sure it stick with the creator being a male. No, it's not. Listen to this. And he created he, him, male and female, created them. Out of what? Go back up to it. His own image. See, that's what he showed me today. He said, see my own image? Because I was talking to him about how good the information he gave me about truth. He wanted me to see own image. I told them, Deborah, what my image was. I created them from my image. And they still took it and made it the way they have taught people all these thousands of years. Because when you go back to 27, it says, so Yah created man in his own image. In his own image. So now you got to figure out, well, what is the Father's image? The Father is a ruach. He's a spirit. Okay? The Father is a spirit. Okay? And as a spirit of feminine and masculine. The Father is a spirit of feminine and masculine. The Father image, his own image. See, that's what he didn't let them take away, because even that alone gives you some total different outlook. His own image. Why is it making sure you understand his own image? His own image. In the image of Yah, created male and female. That's the image of Yah. A ruach, which is a spirit that's feminine and masculine. That's the image of Yah. So he said, I created them from the image of his own image. See, they took that feminine off and that masculine, and they just said here, so Yah created, they got God, created man in his own image. And in the image of God. They turned around and repeated it. You know why? They're trying to instill in you. So I'm looking 7, 8, maybe 9, 10,000 years, and the world will sit and tell this prophetess that the people have not been deceived. People, they have been fully deceived. 100%. 100% totally deceived. So here he wanted me to see where his own image was feminine and masculine. It connects to the part that is truth. What he gave us was truth. Why would we have a breath from the Creator? Okay? We got his breath from the Creator. We can't say we got his spirit. No, we got his image. Like until he is a spirit, he gave us a spirit. And we or living off the breath that he has blown in us, gave us a spirit, and it was blown into us. That was his breath. He explained to me that was not life. That was his breath. The world clamped life on there because they knew that no one would ever find out that if you spell that word backwards, it tells the lie of darkness. And no one, and that's something powerful, because once you get the word life and you spell it backwards and look it up, it tells you it's evil. It's bad. It's wicked. So how did they place that word there? And we've been using it. So when he sits and he says to me, we're going to bring light out of darkness. That's what you're going to do. And guess what that was? 99.9 still don't understand it. It was the same thing he said before. It is exactly bringing light out of darkness. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14, where he said, and the gospel shall be preached to all the nation as a witness. See, the gospel is his power. And the light is showing up what was hidden in the dark. And what was hidden in the dark? His power, his truth, his word. You see that? His image. So when we talk about his image is, was, and shall always be a spirit, a ruach, that is and holds feminine and masculine. See, y'all take feminine and masculine as flesh, because that's how screwed up our mind is. But you got to understand, where did a female and a male come from? It's males and females in the kid. It's not female. I'm trying to get this out of my daughter keep texting me, and I'm trying to knock it off so I don't see it. It's not males and female in the kingdom. Do y'all know that? It's not in the kingdom. It's spirits. That's why we're not going to be able to enter into the kingdom with this body we in. You can't even enter into the kingdom. So you see, you have to understand, well, where did the feminine and the masculine? Only the Father gave that to us, because that's who his spirit holds feminine and masculine. That didn't come, the world didn't create that. We'll sit here and think the world created. Don't forget, he created man. He created woman. So it ain't something that man and woman had children and created male and female. No. Feminine and masculine was created by the Father. And he said his image, male and female. That means your image is feminine and masculine, Father. And not now one of these people on this devil platform would ever be able to uphold that. Because the lies has been, Satan had already won on that end. He won being able to deceive the whole world. And people right here today, they live in that, they sleep in that, they believe that that's just how it is, and that's how it was, the way they were taught. And they don't have no problem continue to live and walk and talk and go on in their everyday life with that mindset and teaching, especially all these pastors. And I realize that you all don't understand the level of sold out. These people, if truth was given to us, because the Most High is truth. He is truth. So when he blew in us, he says that I put it in them so that they will be without no excuse. So we're going to cover that, but it's just going back to wanting you to see how the Father was creating all of these things. Would you all believe I'm on this live and I've had all 4 of my kids? Now I've been here all day. Not Nan called. All 4 is ringing me off. I don't even want. But when we get into Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26 and 27, and then in 28 it says, and Yah blessed them. You see? Them is not male, you guys. Them is speaking of giving them my image and my likeness. What is his image and his likeness? A ruach, which is a spirit, feminine and masculine. That's what he gave Adam and Eve. He says in 28, and Yah blessed them. Going back to let you see, it was never him, it was them. Now listen to what he says. And Yah said to them. See, they wouldn't have never thought that someone would come up and grip the fact that, wait a minute, this here, they looking at the ideal of all these years, no one would come and talk about this. And it's the truth. How did it get out in the year 2024, 25, 26? How did it get out? It's called light, shining in the midst of darkness. That which is in the dark shall come to light in the last days. So listen to this key that he showed me. He said, when you go to 28, Deborah, and you see where it says, and Yah blessed them, and Yah said to them. Is he saying this only to the male? No. He's saying it to them. Now watch, this is where it came in at. He gave them an order. Be fruitful and multiply. Right there. If he was just meaning him, how can he multiply without her? He can't multiply without her. Do you get, when the Father was showing me that, he was just showing me how 99 point, he didn't say this, but I'm saying 99.16 trillion wouldn't catch it. Why? Why? It's because they love the deception. They love the lie. They love the energy of the lie. They love to believe the lie. They want to only walk in the lie. Okay? And in spite of it, you got to understand, this didn't start with the Roman Catholic, the Jesuits, and the Jews. This started way back in the beginning. Somebody had to switch it over. And guess what? It wasn't in the beginning of creation that they switched it over. It's when they got a hold of the scrolls and the Ark of the Covenant. That's when they were able to take out what they want, to add into the books that right here, right now, that they even removed. And they got people out running here talking about the books that they took out because they didn't want us to know this. And it don't matter. What sense does it make for them to take out books to confuse you when you was confused with one book that had less chapters? So you still don't, you have not even mastered the book, the first book, which is Genesis. So how did all the lost book play a role in them causing you to be deceived? You're more deceived today than you ever been since you exist on the face of the earth. Since you've been born, you're more deceived. Not more deceived, you're more blind. You have no understanding. So if you think the Enoch book and all the lost books in this book that they created is your deliverance, okay? It's what's going to cause you to understand you lost. You terribly lost. Because if they rewrote this book and smeared it up and down, what do you think that they put in the books that they took out? Somebody needs to talk to sick people. I know it's too late. It really is. Because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make no sense for you to take on Enoch book when you ain't even learned the first book that the Father made sure. If you miss it, you done missed all of them. So all the lost books, all the Enoch books, and any other book that you think that man has taken out of here, guess what? You lost with the cause and without, because you was lost from the beginning. Now, he wanted me to see where he was telling them to be fruitful and multiply. That was to bring forth children. So it's impossible for him to be wanting man to rule the world. When he said replenish, be fruitful and multiply and replenish, he was speaking it. He said the earth and subdue it, have dominion, there go power over the fish in the sea. He went on to tell him over everything. He didn't say man. He was speaking to feminine and masculine, male and female. So that's what's so powerful to me. Here we are in the year 2026, as other years, still wanting to feed and teach people the lie. Because it's almost like, okay, it's better for them to hear the lie than anything. At least you can say they got something. That's exactly how it feels to me. It's like, as long as they got something to hold on to, that's how I see it. It's more so they like, oh, as long as they got something, even if it's the lie. So what I like him showing me that, because it brought so much back to me regarding even the truth. Here we are, and the reason why he would say that I wish that all will man be saved, in a sense. That's what they say. I have to look it up and get it and say it exactly the way it said in the study guide. But when it all said and done, because he knew already, all that time, he had already invested truth in each and every last one of us. It was already in us. And how did it get in us? When you're holding that breath. When you're holding that breath alone belongs to he that is all truth. And this is what he meant. Let's go to Romans chapter 1 and verse 18. In the book of Romans chapter 1 and verse 18. And it says, for the wrath of God is revealed from heavens against. And in that, I'm like saying, well, wait a minute, hold up, Paul. What's going on with the Most High? Why is his wrath it's being revealed from heavens against something? You see, Paul was telling us that the Father's wrath was against us. Now you would say, well, like I said, well, what for? It's because you're holding what I put in you, which was true. All because you come down here to be the opposite, even though I put truth in you. My breath has to stand for something. If it's my breath and I am the creator, I am all righteous, I'm all truth. You see? So if I give you the breath, you're holding something of mine. You're holding the breath. And with that breath, I gave you truth. Listen to this. Paul is saying, For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all, see, all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. Now, what is Paul saying? Yah is his wrath is already against everybody on the earth that is practicing and that is ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. And I'm sure he's speaking of women too. So here it is. His wrath is up. Y'all, it wasn't when you came, your mother had you. This been going on. Why? Because he knew that that breath hold truth. That the breath that we have right here today holds truth. Listen to what it says. I'm going to read it, the whole thing. Romans chapter 1, verse 18. And the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Now, do y'all get that? Heavens is already got wrath against people. And I would say 99.9 of us on this earth. Because we're doing what? We're holding the truth. How are we holding it? Through the breath. We're holding truth through the breath. Ain't we holding his breath? Yeah. That's what truth was given to us. Through his breath. And he said, in unrighteousness. And his wrath is against everybody. See, he knows what he's talking about when he talks about the narrow gate. He knows exactly what he's talking about when he said a small remnant. But you let everybody else teach and preach that thing. They teach that lie. They're going to live that lie and they're going to die that lie. Because they want everybody to believe what they want to teach. And they want to be deceiving as many people as possible. Now, right here when it says, and who hold the truth. They hold the truth through the breath they receive. Listen to what he says. Because that which may be known of Yah is manifested. Came through the breath. In them. Ooh-wee. Now, who is he talking about? The unrighteous and the ungodliness. Those who are unrighteous and ungodly. They receive the truth, honey. Along with everybody else. You see that? It's sitting here telling you because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them. For Yah has shown it unto them. So they know already. So that's why I sit back and I think about how people wouldn't even want it to be over. Not even understanding what more is there left. 99.9 is walking on this earth with the breath that Yah has given them. And that breath has revealed truth in them. It is manifested in them. But yet, he calls them unrighteous, ungodly. But yet, Deborah, verse 18, they're holding truth. You see? And then you wonder why he got it already written where everybody gonna go. Like he's supposed to be so dumb and don't know nothing, but y'all know everything. He got it written because he already know where everybody gonna spend eternal. Because if Paul is teaching how his wrath is already against those that are ungodly, why? Because they sitting around Deborah holding the truth in them. That's my breath. Okay? And then it says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even the eternal power and the Godhead, so that they are without excuse. People are clowning in these end days. And how? With the level of wicked and darkness and evil that exists on this earth. That's what they're clowning with. And when I say clowning, they having a good time. They having a good time. They are having a good time. They think it's okay. And that it ain't important. And then I think about it, I see why it's not important to constantly feel you have to give people, spirit and truth. You have to break it down. You have to make sure. The Father's in here telling you, wait a minute, baby, I already put it in them to know the truth. It's already in them. It's already in them. So when Sister Deborah said brick wall, I feel like I'm talking to a brick. You are talking to a brick wall. Because what our truth been already put in them. It came with the breath. So Paul is sitting here telling you the Yah's wrath is against those who are ungodly and unrighteous. Why? He said because they hold the truth in unrighteousness. See, they holding it. It's manifested in them because he put it in them through the breath. That breath represents the Creator himself. That's why he said they're going to be without an excuse. That is so deep. That's beautiful, though, because it's like saying, see, y'all running around here thinking these people doing the things that they doing because they just want to do. No, that's the level of darkness that's in them. Because if truth is in them and they doing all this stuff, then what did that tell y'all? Somebody got to answer that. If you see truth, if now you understand truth is in us through the breath, then what do you think this stuff that's going on here they doing? See? He's sitting here in Romans chapter 1 and 18 said they hold the truth in unrighteousness. Because they still living with the breath of life. And that was blown into them, giving them truth. But they rather serve unrighteous and ungodliness and unrighteousness while holding the breath of life, which truth comes with. And we sitting here trying to break things down to make sure people get it, make people sure people understand it. So, but that's my fault. Because I remember the Father constantly telling me, Deborah. And that's the way he has been telling me all the time. It don't matter. It don't matter. And I see, just sitting here talking to you now, it all makes so much sense. He said you can talk to them till you blue in the face. My wrath is already stirred up against them already. Because the truth was in everyone who receives the breath of life. And that's another reason why the judgment is not going to be something so hard for y'all. He already going to know who's who and what's what. Because he already knew. It's already written. Even when they get down here, he already know what's you have invested. That's another reason why he knows who's coming back to him. He knows what he has branded. He knows who that Christ come to redeem. He knew that. He knew he ain't coming to redeem everybody. Only those that came down here from the Lamb Book of Life. Those are the ones coming back to the Father. And everybody would say, well, everybody's going to be saved. Everybody should be able to get in. Everybody. But then he said, he wished that all man could be saved. But he know I put truth in them. And that all man ain't abide by the truth that came to them or they received through the breath. And if you really think, y'all, I know many of y'all don't want to think. Just think about how many organs, even your skin alone being an organ, your lungs, your kidney, your liver, your brain, your heart, and all this blood running through. Come on now, somebody had to create that. Come on now. And then you stand back and realize the breath of life. Look at the power in the breath of life, y'all. Not life, let me not say that. In the breath that we have been given. Just think about that breath. Do you know no man can pluck that out of the Father's hand? No one can take no one's breath from them because it belongs to the Father. He give it and he take it. No man can come take that. You see? You can go to the hospital and they say when you got cancer from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. You ain't going nowhere until that breath is removed from you, from the Father. You see? If you really think of it like that, then you can kind of see that, wait a minute, nobody has the power over this breath. This breath allowed us to live. You see? And nobody can take this from us. Nobody. But the Most High. Now, if he allowed somebody, that's still him. He still got it locked in. Death have to bring that breath back from you to the Father. And it's already assigned. It ain't that the world has the decision. Somebody come in and they take Sister Deborah's life. It ain't so much as them, it's what Yah has assigned for the breath to return. This is another reason why no one wants to respect his creation. Because he said when you're born is when you cry. Because you have to live in this world of iniquity, sin, and darkness, and evil at its highest. But when you pass away, that's a time to rejoice. Especially if that individual passed away in righteousness, falling under the ruach of the Most High Yah. You see, with the Holy Spirit in them. You see? Because all of that was flipped. It was taken out, and this is why you see people crying when people die. And if you really think about it, crying when someone passed away, that's something to really think about. They don't have to suffer. They don't have to go through all this sick mess on this earth. They don't have to see all this sick mess that's taking place. They don't have to participate in all this sick mess. Because y'all, it's so deep. It's deeper than deep. It is deeper than deep. I have never in my whole life, not life, living, I would have thought that it would be this heavy, this level of darkness. I wouldn't. Hey y'all, and it's like every day the Father is revealing it for what it is, and I'm like saying, "But Father, how long?" I can understand the angels at the altar saying, "How long?" For I can understand it to the fullness, because it's like they're being allowed. And all it takes is to take the breath of life from them. But the Father is allowing this darkness. But you got to also think, the wrath of the Most High Yah is against the ungodly and the unrighteous because of the things that they're doing. Withholding the truth. So while we are sitting here thinking that, okay, all these billionaires and they this, they that, that's why they're so well at revealing the things that they're doing and that they have done. A lot of it was always there, you guys. It's a lot of wicked and evil that they all, like now, do y'all know today, in this day right now, they letting y'all see everything. They showing y'all every evil and everything they have ever done. And people they showing it, making it real clear, and everybody going like this here. Whatever. This is how people are doing. And they sit here showing you that they finna spread another bio. They showing you that they don't do it. They telling you they don't do it. And everybody just whatever. I had to look at a whole program about Social Security. And I thought that, okay, I'm going to tell y'all, I thought, well, maybe I could be wrong. I just don't understand it. But when that lady started telling you what all you have to pay, I'm like saying, you pay Social Security, Medicare, and Social Security and Medicare all the years of your living. For what? For what? Then you retire, and that's guess what? They got you paying for Medicare all over again. Then they got you Medicare Advantage, Medicare Gap, now dental, and you have to pay separate for your medication. And I'm sitting here saying, if this country is not the dumbest country on this earth, I can never say no country is dumb as this one, to allow themselves to be used. And what had happened is they thought that it was okay, because as long as people's doing good, as long as they have themselves, they think everything, they can't see nothing. They can't see nothing wrong with nothing. And that's why I know that the way the Father is going to do it, he's going to strip everybody. Because as long as people have, their mindset is set a certain way. Because had they known what they've been doing in this country by taking from you all these years and then turn around, when you retire, you have to pay back into Medicare. You got to pay into, let me explain. You got to pay into your B. Then you got to get Medicare Gap. You got to get RX, meaning your medicine, and you have to pay for that. Then you have to pay for dental. You should have seen all this stuff that these people still have to pay after they have retired. And I'm like saying, how did they get away with that? No other country does this. No other country do this here, but this country here. That's why I know that this is Babylon, and I know that this is the reason. If y'all ever wonder why this country have to go down and why the Father picked this country to destroy with his right hand, is because I believe even we that are in it are so sick and rotten. I'm with him on that. I salute the Father. If you got to even bring me down with it, I salute you. Because from what the Spirit has allowed me and taught me, this place here is a place that even the people here still lying about. So I had to look at that, and I looked at that, and I said, but Father, it was identical to what I was thinking. It was exactly what I was thinking. Because when people talk to me about it, I've always told them it's them still robbing you until you're in your grave. Until you're in your grave. And no one ever thought, let me show you how sick it is, the big, beautiful bill. People ain't even gave it a, these people in this country didn't even give it a thought. Everything that the Congress and all of them come to meeting and come together, the people in this country, okay, everything. They so busy out here lynching, hanging men, hate and evil and racist and murdering their family and murdering their parents and murdering. I mean, everybody out here doing all that wickedness. But the people that been robbing and taking and killing, they let them continue it even to this very day. All this stuff that these people done, they all out in the opening with it now. They sit here telling you, well, we did it, and the stupid people went and got the Epstein file, and they gave that mess to them only because they got to keep them busy while they doing what they're going to do. And they have no idea what these people have prepared for them, and the Father is going to allow them to. They doing big time damage, and everybody walking around, oh, well, ain't long as it ain't me. It's long as it ain't me, but don't even understand. It is you. You just too stupid to see it right now, but you will. Okay, now this is where I'm going to start now. When I get to the Gospel of John, now we know that the Father put truth in us through the breath. He said it's manifested in us, and we hold in truth while doing unrighteous and ungodly. Woo! That's deep. That's deep. The Gospel of John, chapter 4, that's deep. While holding, he said, while holding righteous, not righteous, while holding truth. And I can agree with that, because that's the way I can see it. Doing all this evil, knowing better, but yet walking around portraying evil and wicked, unrighteous and ungodliness. When you get to the Gospel of John, chapter 4, and verse 23 and 24. In the Gospel of John, chapter 4, verse 23 and 24, and it says, but the hour cometh, and is now, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. See that? Look at the lowercase spirit. That means your spirit. That means your spirit and in truth. Your spirit and in truth. That's how we have to worship him. See how truth is detached to his spirit? We have to worship him. Why? If his spirit is in us, our spirit worship him in our spirit and in truth. You see that? This is one verse that you'll never hear people preach and teach, because most people are not detached to this. Listen to it. The Gospel of John, chapter 4, verse 23. But the hour cometh, and he was talking about the time that he was here, Yeshua, and is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father, there go the Father, in their spirit and in truth. There go truth. It's that truth that's in them already, that breath. Your spirit worship the Father. In your spirit, you worship the Father in truth. You see all these people out here? They would never, ever give truth, that type of hand in hand with the Father. They wouldn't. Because they have no idea that that is a part of the breath that you have received. Now watch this here. Now verse 24. Yah is a spirit. And they that worship him must worship him in their spirit and in truth. You see that? There go that truth again. We can't escape it. It's in us already. It's telling us that. It's in where is it at, y'all? It's in your spirit. Exactly where the Father said he put it. It's in your spirit. You know why you know he said he put it there? It's because when he blew in the breath, he blew you a spirit. And with that spirit, you gain truth. So it was from his spirit to yours. That was his image. Now you see? And we running around here thinking, we got to get somewhere to get it. Or we got to get, and the Father sitting here saying, look, Deborah, my wrath has been kindled with them since the beginning. Because truth been always there. It was there, so they won't have no excuse to say that I wasn't just, I wasn't fair. I put that truth in all of them. But it don't mean it's going to do anything for them. But know that. Tell them that. You see? And that's also, I'm telling you, when he was teaching me that, and remind me of what he used to always say. I don't care what mountain you stand on and tell them truth, devil. You can stand on any mountain and tell them. It ain't gonna matter what you say. So know that. You got a lane. Speak it, truth. That's what he used to say all the time. Speak truth and keep it going. You got a lane to get in. In a sense, letting you know that if I myself have shown them all things, I sent my only begotten, I sent Yeshua to teach them about who I was, and they still don't get it. And here you come and trying to, baby, sit down, Deborah. Truth in them already. I'm like saying, wow. That's why he said, stop putting so much into it. Because it's nothing you can do for them. Don't keep adding and trying to make it and breaking it down and giving it and giving. Look, you see now? Yes, now it makes a lot of sense. You know, it really does. Truth is already there. And when they go out and they get all these lost books, they go out and they get the Enoch book, they go out here talking about, I'm a true Jew. We are the children. Wait a minute. Hold up, bro. What do they have to do with the breath of life? Not the breath that's in you that holds truth. Didn't I tell y'all? When they finish talking, none of that means anything that you are Abraham's flesh seed. None of it. What about the truth you hold? You got the breath. It holds the truth. What about that? They don't care. They don't care. None of that means anything. That stuff is not important to them. And this reminds me of why he keeps telling me, Deborah, it's okay. These things need be. Because all this time, he knew there was a level of truth that he had put in everybody that come into the world. He knew that. Even the babies. They received the breath. The breath holds truth. So listen to what he says in the Gospel of John, chapter 4, verse 23. But the hour cometh and is now when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. There go the Father, there go your spirit, and there go truth. Your spirit is holding truth, y'all. That's sad. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. He seeketh those that's holding truth, which is everybody. But those that worship him, he says the time shall come, and the time when the true worshipers, see, there go the true ones. The true ones represent the truth. The truth. That's what it's pretty much letting you know. They're going to worship him the right way. Now watch this. Verse 24. Yah is a spirit, and they worship him, must worship him in spirit and in truth, y'all. That's some sad stuff, y'all. That's some straight up sad stuff. Let's go to 1 John chapter 3. That's some horrible stuff. And let's just imagine all these people that's preaching and teaching, y'all. These people that's preaching and teaching and don't even have what it takes to teach the people the truth. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 18. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 18. And it reads, my little children, let us not give and gave in word. Okay, watch this here. Neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. And he's calling it's saying here, little children. See, a lot of people thought when he says, suffer the little children that come unto me, a lot of you all really believe that those are little bitty babies. That's not what he's talking about. He called his from the kingdom little children. A lot of people don't know that. But yes, he called his little children. And here in 1 John chapter 3, verse 18, my little children, let us not give and gave in word. Meaning don't just give people in word, giving them the word, word, neither in tongue. Now you see how it said, let us not love in word. You see what I'm saying? It's give and gave in word. And tongue, in tongue. Okay? But in deed and in truth. See how that truth still plays a part? And we run around here, act like we don't understand nothing. And the Father said, see, Deborah's already in there. Just as their eternal destiny is already in them. So is the truth, Deborah. That's so deep. That's the judgment in itself. You get down here and you live in every other way outside of the way of truth, of righteous, upright, godly. And this is why I say all the Christians really think they already got their ticket to the kingdom. They think the rapture come to get them. They don't care if they not meeting the expectation of the Father. They could care less. They meeting the expectation of man. That's all they concerned about. They don't care about if they ain't doing the will of the Father or they ain't about the Father's business. That stuff don't faze them. That don't mean anything to them. And that's all these other Muslim, the Moors, or the Masons, Islam, Muhammad, all that old mess. None of them gives a rat's behind. Now just imagine all of us came down here with the truth. You see why it's a small remnant? Do you get it? Do you see why now it's a small remnant? Do you see why the gate is narrow? People sitting around holding the truth, knowing better. He said even the Godhead, all of that, they already know about. It's in them. But guess who knows about it? The elites, those who's ruling the world with all this wicked and evil, all of them, they know all about truth. They know all about it. They know that that it rests within. They know what's wrong with the people then. This shows you the sickness. Now, let's go to James, the book of James, chapter 1. The book of James, chapter 1, and verse 18. I think this is the one I like. The book of James, chapter 1, and verse 18. Of his own will begot he us with the word of truth. You hear what he said? James chapter 1, verse 18. Of his own will begot he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruit of his creation. Didn't I tell y'all, when he speak, he is the word. He is the word. Now you see how they detaching the word with truth? You see that? Because the Father is truth. When he gave us that breath, not only did he blow in an image of who he is, which is a spirit, either feminine and masculine, with the truth. So we are without excuse, even to this very day. Yeah, that's deep. Verse 18, James chapter 1, verse 18. Of his own will begat he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruit of his creation. You see that? So when Sister Deborah was talking about how we dropped the ball from the beginning, every time I bring something up, I talk about we dropped the ball. This is what he was telling me the ball was. The Father said the ball was the truth that rests therein. So this is why in Genesis they can't go back to pick it up. This is why they don't care to pick it up. Almost to the point where they know they dropped it. So what? Truth was in us to know that we dropped it. So what? Leave me alone. I ain't going back to pick it up. I want to be on the left side at all times. This is the way I want to live. This is the way I want to do things. And that's just how they're doing it. So now we go into 1 Corinthians chapter 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And verse 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 6. And it reads, rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Rejoice in the truth. Because the truth will always in you all the time. Rejoice in it. We out here dropping the ball 24-24. And guess what? You can drop it all you want. That truth been dropped in you. And that's the measurement of already your destiny. Without an excuse, you won't have one. I think that's really beautiful. Set it up just that beautiful. That's just so beautiful set up. Because it puts everybody in the light to where they could have, not that they could have, but who they really are. You know what I'm saying? So they can come down here and role play it, because you're only role playing it to the world. But the truth, you knew. You just wanted to live the lie. You see? You wanted to live the way the world lived, in its darkness. You didn't want no part in truth, even though truth had a part in you. That's sad. Truth had a part in you all this time. And you want no part of truth, but truth had a part in you all this time. So here in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 6, rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. So now you know that truth resides within, rejoice therein. Okay, so now I'm going back to Psalms, because I want David to say something about this, because if this has been the case, I want to hear if David knew it all the time. Okay, let's go to Psalms 25. In the book of Psalms, chapter 25, verse 4 and 5. I'm just trying to understand. Did David and them knew all that truth was in them? Okay. Psalms 25, verse 4 and 5. Show me thy ways, O Yah. Teach me thy path. I like that, because that's always my prayer. Show me your ways. Teach me your will, Father. I don't want to know mine. and what I want to know your will. So David is saying, show me thy ways. I love that. Oh Yah, teach me thy path. Lead me in thy truth. What is he saying? Keep me focused on that truth that is within me. Lead me. See, lead me in thy truth. In thy truth. And teach me, for thou art Yah of my salvation. On thee do I wait all the day. So David did know somewhat about the truth. He said, lead me in thy truth. So he knows somewhere along the line that truth exists. You see, where you see something in verse 4, show me thy ways. Oh, yeah. Teach me thy paths. Verse 5, lead me in thy truth. That should be our cry to the Father every day. Help me to hold on to that truth that you have invested in me. Teach me it. Show me how to. You know how he says, walk in the Spirit? That's another thing. We know he says, walk in the Spirit. So we won't allow the flesh to have its way. He says, walk in the Spirit. So to walk in the Spirit, something there has to be in your spirit to walk therein. Because something has to show you the way. David says here, show me the way, thy way, O Yah. Teach me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth. And teach me, for thou art the Yah of my salvation. On thee do I wait all the day. He's seeking what he needs to help him. And that is Yah. But he need him to show him, to lead him in that truth. Because he's flesh too. That's why. So he's seeking the Father to lead him because he is flesh too. And he needed the Father to show him the way. Okay? Now in Psalms 33, in verse 4. In Psalms 33 and verse 4, David is saying something here. Psalms 33 and verse 4. For the word of Yah is right, and all his works are done in truth. All his work are done in truth. Now, David is saying all his work. All of his work is done in truth. So where are we today? Where do we go from here? It's understanding that there was always something invested in the breath. I want to make sure you all understand also in the breath was the image that he gave you, a spirit. Remember he said you cannot worship him. You have to worship him in spirit and in truth, meaning your spirit and the truth that he invested in you. But guess what? That image gave you the image, feminine or masculine. So what he was explaining to me today when I was cleaning up, he said, there where you will find, no matter what surgery, no matter what they add on, how they feel about being male or female, I gave them the image. I gave them the image. And the image is a spirit. I put through that breath, male or female, meaning feminine or masculine. So when they get down here and they begin to say, when I always thought I was a female or I always thought I was a male, that's the work of darkness. Because you go back to the beginning, it tells you the story that no man could ever go back to and break it down to many of these people who live this homosexual lifestyle. It ain't no born. If he giving you both genders and both organs, but if you got male, you're male. If you have female, you're female. Because that's the image of who he gave you in your spirit. That goes back to show you the lie. So if he's giving you feminine or masculine, it's his image. All you have to do is to go back and see. It's his image. How did you end up feeling that you something else? It's darkness. It's darkness. And it's the highest level of darkness that's on the earth. Because don't forget, he just told us to make us understand in such a midnight hour. Because 99.9, no one didn't know truth came with it. Paul told it. Show you we ain't been listening to Paul. We ain't been listening to nobody but our own self and what someone else, because we want things the way we want to feel it and the way we want to know it. We don't want it outside of nothing else, outside of what we want to feel and what we want to know. But I'm so grateful that the Father broke that down to me. I'm just so grateful. Now, truth is, I also spoke, and a matter of fact, I think last week I spoke on truth. But truth is has always been something powerful to me because I noticed it. Like I noticed it really since I've been on these end days. This end day is no one wants truth. I sit up here and I be looking for somebody speaking truth and you can't find it. You're running around trying to get somebody and to really hear it to the point where they're teaching it. They're feeding to you what is in you, truth. You see? But you can't find it. So it's a level of showing you how far everybody really are. Because they're thinking truth is something they can just swing this way, swing that way, and live by this and live. No. Paul was saying that the wrath of Yah is already against you. Who hold the truth in ungodliness and unrighteousness. And he said, hey, I put it in them, Deborah. When he gave me that, I really did. I felt so special. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, I woke up at 6:24. I felt so special. I mean, I'm going to tell you, if y'all only heard the things he said to me, I ain't gave you half of what he said to me. I have not given you half of what he said to me, but it sure felt good to me. It felt good, and I was just as happy. Oh, I was so happy to hear him just break all that stuff down to me. And I'm like, I'm just happy. I'm grateful to have the Holy Spirit to be my teacher and my revealer, my comforter, and showing me things and causing me to remember things. I am grateful for him and who he was and who he is and who he's going to be in the days. He brought something up to me about the I am. And when he brought that up, I went and I said, okay, the I am can stand for what? When I looked at that child and realized I am is exactly what he means. I am this and I am that. And then he said, this is what he did, y'all. I think it was in Exodus. He said, it was in Exodus. He said, go where I was bringing Israel out of bondage. And there it was. I was cloud by day and a fire by night. When I read that, I said, you gotta be kidding me. Not that I did not know that, but what I was saying, you got to be kidding me, is he showed me the level of I am. He has been so much to where we can't even see that even the word I am, which is Ahaya, means something in the bosom of the Father. Because it's being able to recognize that you are all and something. You can see him at a level where if nobody else see him, you know that he is what he said he is. So he said, now when it says by cloud, I am the cloud that was over them by day. I was the fire, Deborah, that was over them by night. Woo! So they could see. So he was actually showing you that I am. Then he said, this is what he said. He said, and I was the one that gave them rest. He was the I am that gave them the rest that they need. And when we don't take him at that level of I am, and the reason why people can't take him at that level, they don't have the respect of I am, a higher. And that it carries a level of showing us he can be whatever he wants, when he wants, how he wants, whatever. He don't have to be what we say he is or what we was taught that he was. All that's a lie. How about seeing him for who he said he is? I am the I am. When he poured up that cloud by day, that fire by night, and then tell me I was the one that gave them rest in the wilderness, I was like, wait a minute, that's who I am. And then he be telling me about the word was, the word is. I am was, and I am is. I mean, he gave me so many of them. I'm gonna teach that what he gave me because I wrote it down. But he just showing you that, hey, I'm wait a minute, y'all don't get who he is. He's saying that I'm everything. When you need him, he can be any and everything to you, for you, through you, with you. But recognize and respect that I am. That I am. See, and that's why he is not what he could be to us. We put limitations on him. We want people to think that he's only limited. Oh, he's only this. He this. Oh, he this. He's my this. He's my that. Baby, sit down. Because when I learned what Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, he said, baby, the Father told me, Deborah, they don't even understand what that means. Because if they did, they would have fear on them, knowing that I said I am the end. See, they want to quote it, and it is. It's something that everybody, oh, I'm Alpha and Omega, he's the beginning and the end. They quote it without having the true definition of what it means. It don't give him glory. It don't exalt him. It don't magnify him. It don't edify him. But we say it because we don't say it with real meaning that defines him to the T. Because he said when they talk about the end, do they know what the end gonna be? That's gonna be when that power all over the place. See, they ain't looking at the end like that. They just looking at something we were taught, we quote, and we don't have no power behind it because we ain't got no business using it without the real definition of the beginning. When you see him as the beginning, you make sure that when you speak to people, that people recognize and give him the respect that's due him, being the beginning of all creation. See, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. And it's something else he told me about. They're trying to lock everyone in under their, you know how he got the mark on his? He has his remnant already. When darkness, evil, and wicked is trying to lock people under that same category. That's why when they take of the 666, it's not a number, it's not a person, it is a part of control. Just like they had people giving the COVID shot, all of that is a part of it. It is all of that is a part of it. You see, look at how many people. I know y'all didn't know that. Let me just shut up, Deborah. It don't even help to them to even know it. If y'all knew how many millions of people in this country died from that, how these babies are being born with it, and really what that stuff was. But it was young and old. Then they made it to where it was mandatory. Then when they finished with your tails, y'all butts was out there trying to get it every year. You see, selling yourself out. So this here mark of the beast, it's a system that's got you doing things. Every time they say A, you jump on A. When they say B, you jump on B. You sold yourself out. And when they got that COVID, you sold yourself out. They even had the churches, all the churches, rooted. Get it, get it, get it. You think Gino, you think he was the main one telling his people, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. But where's the faith that you said you have? You telling them to get what the word said they need. That's just another reason why I know that man is not who. It doesn't matter who he is. It doesn't matter nothing that people are doing, you know. And once I realized, hey, the truth is in Deborah, slap the head with a book and keep it going, baby. Just slap the head with a book and keep it going. Because I can see now why a lane was given unto me. Because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to learn to get in that lane and go on and run in it, walk in it, talk in it, do what you got to do. Because outside of it, if you're looking for the outside of that lane to get busy or to start seeking Yah and desiring, you can hang it up. You can hang it up. It's already in them. And that's what he's been telling me all the time. And I didn't pay any attention to the fact that it's in them like that. So don't go trying to stand on the mountain and pick up the ball and break that ball down and break it, turn it here and give it here. And this your ball, dropping this, and you going picking them up, giving it to them for what? Where are their hearts? So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of it. I really wished at one time that I could have given it the way the Father has given it to me, because really, y'all, he has given it to me, and the way that he has given it to me, I don't think I'll ever be able to bring it out like he did it, because he is just that awesome. But I appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat, and I also see also where they are, and they are, and I want to tell you all this. And I want to say this, Sister Deborah will not and have not and don't have the mind nor the heart to take my life, okay? My body is good. No blood pressure, all of that is gone. I didn't have blood pressure no way. It was just what I was going through that had my blood pressure up. But Sister Deborah is not sick. Sister Deborah is not ill. Sister Deborah will not take her life or whatever. So if you ever, something ever happened to Sister Deborah, I want you all to know it is that system. Okay? I want you all to know that. I think of I was telling the Father about how your servant can be out here doing your will, and things could be happening, or many could be doing things, but you out here trying to give spirit and truth, trying to preach the light, what he said, the gospel in this end days as well. But this is the reason why my brothers and uh, of yesterday, meaning biblical times where they were losing their lives and things that there happened, because it was those who did not want to hear the truth. They did not want the truth to be out there in any shape, form, or fashion. When I look at the idea that I was explaining to you all about that bumblebee, I never really thought of it like many of you all would have thought of it if it was you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I thought of it. What is it about me that would cause them to bring that sort of environment, bring that sort of thing in my midst? It could be used for many things, child. It can be used for many things, and people think that you just on here just to be on here. You know, you ain't nobody. You ain't, but I am somebody. Even when nobody think you're nobody, I must be somebody to those that everybody think is somebody. I tell you that. How about that? How about that? You see, but it's the ideal of the way I know that they plan out things. And at that moment, with me, I'm more so, okay, Father, if I'm marked, then that's good. But even if I ain't, I had to tell a couple of people today that anything happen, don't go trying to fight it, don't go trying to beat it, but speak truth. Tell the truth that this was not her. This is not the type of person she was. This is not how she passed away, or this is not how, you know, don't. Make sure y'all, this is, I'm saying, so don't let nobody tell y'all she was sick and she had a heart attack, she, all that. Don't. Let me tell you, I'm telling you now, because the way they do things, that's how they rumble. That's how they rumble. Okay? That's how they were able to rule this whole world and get this country to be the wickedest thing on the face of the earth. That's how they were able to do it. Okay, so I had to say that, and I also want to make sure if I also tell an individual that if I don't come on here, if anything ever happened, then he would be the one to come and tell you all, you know, Sister Deborah is not on here. I'm just letting you all know, when you're thinking that this thing is a play, play with yourself, okay? Play with yourself. You know, I can see why and how all of those prophets in the time past and men of Yah lost their life. I can see how and then don't think that it wasn't Yah letting them do it. Okay, don't get me wrong. He let death come through there, but it's just the idea, the way that they went out. So what I see today and all this that I'm seeing today, and it's almost like, don't say nothing. Don't tell them nothing. Don't say nothing. So somewhere in it, they don't want you saying anything. Okay. But they also, I believe, without a doubt, that they're coming more so after those, even if you got one subscriber, it's not how many subscribers and likes you have, how much influence you have. Are you the one? That's what they're coming after. The one. Okay? So that's why I tell a lot of people, you're a long ways from home. A long ways from home. You be lucky if you find your way. Mm-hmm. That's how far I know for a fact people are. A long ways from home. That's why ain't nobody and no one will be after you or coming, because where you at is your zone of your flesh. When you're about the Father's business, let me tell you, you're going to see the difference in who you are about. People walk around and they wants to make people think that they got the key, they got the ticket to the kingdom, they holier than thou, they did, and got all this evil stuck in them. Mm-hmm. And won't lift up the name of the Most High God in no shape, form, or fashion. Won't speak of him, won't glorify him. They stay in a zone that's so comfortable for them because they want the world and they want to play the spirit at the same time. Well, I want to play holy than thou, but I got to stick with the world. I got to stick with the way of the world. And this is the mindset of people. So ain't nobody going to be after you. Ain't nobody going to even think second of you. You're not one that they're worried about. And I do that anyway because like I'm on my phone. When I get on the phone, you have all kind of people coming on, okay? But when I get on my laptop, it's only limited. You can see where they are fully in control and how they are in control, you see. And every word that you coming out your mouth, which y'all don't understand, and what makes a lot of people out there real sick, is you thinking, now I can say what you're thinking, but what one would think is, okay, they coming because you say you a Jew or you this and that. No. They coming because of that same thing I just spoke to you about. Truth is in you. See, you can't bring light out of the midst of darkness thinking it's just going to be just that. They're watching you. They are actually watching you bring light out of darkness. And one would think, well, what difference does it make? They don't care. It don't affect them. Oh, yes, it does. Because they know that you're telling what ain't nobody else doing. Because they got them. They know they got them. They know that, hey, we got them. We got they got that 501c3, 4, 8, whatever. We know we got them. We got them talking about. I've sat back on YouTube, you guys, and I've actually watched them place two other guys, black men, onto YouTube to take the place of a couple of black men, which both of them have passed away. They place somebody else up there. They know what they're doing because they need to keep deceiving the world at the level where they deceiving the world so they can continue to do what they got behind the scene and what they're doing behind the scene. You see? So where I come in to say to you all, I don't need you and nobody else to tell me. I already know that what I'm saying, you don't know how blessed you are to hear it. Let me just take you there right quick. You see? Just to be able to the blessing that you are getting and you're receiving it. You don't know what situation you in, because if they after me, they ain't gonna be after you. They just after the one that knows truth. And they would rather not one get it than you to have 100. They ain't worrying about the multitude, because the multitude, they got them set, lying, deceiving. All these people with all these subscribers, these people are teaching people lies and darkness. They ain't teaching people nothing. What I mean by that, no food for their spirit. And if no one is on this devil platform feeding the spirit of individual, well, what are you feeding? The part that don't go to the kingdom, the part that dies and go into the earth, and the worms are already waiting for you to come down. That's what they feeding. They waiting to feed off of you too. So they ain't worried about you because they know who you are in them. They know you walk in that thin line with them. They know that. So when one would say, well, why would they come out? That's why. They rather not have no one talking, not even the one talking the truth. Then they would refer millions on these platforms deceiving y'all with the material they have given them to deceive you all. They ain't worrying about them. They coming after that one. Look what heaven says. If there was one lost, he'll come down from the kingdom to come get that one. You see? You see what I'm saying? Why? Because that darkness coming after that one. He ain't coming after your tail. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't learning nothing. You ain't teaching nothing. You ain't preaching nothing. The Ruach ain't giving you nothing to say. So why would they be coming after you? Yeah, give you something to think about. That's what a lot of people are, that's where you know a lot of people are ignorant. They are brick walls. They don't understand the simple things. Then you get in here and you call yourself preaching it and giving it as the Spirit gives to you. You go shooting it out to them. And they looking at you all cockeyed. Trying to find ways that they can stab you in your back. This is the system. This is how people are. So that's why I said if anything happened, y'all, it ain't me. It ain't me. Nope, I ain't gonna hang myself. Nope, I ain't gonna kill myself. I ain't gonna take drugs. I ain't got no business having no heart attack, no stroke, no nothing. All right? Because that's how they rumble. When you get people going, them people who was able to fly into the Trade Center, for them to take to do that, they had to be mind controlled. Yeah. And the day it happened, I've been telling everybody. I've been telling everybody I know ever since the day it had happened, 9/11. Never could get anyone to hear it. Everybody just all loo. All the people came so together back then. You's a fool. If you got to come together for tragedy, stuff like that your country is doing, you sick. All this time, this country been talking about ISIS didn't come over here and they doing this. ISIS done done this. ICE done this. ICE done this. Then turn around, formed a group called ICE to do it to the people in this country. And no one said a monkey word. It's just amazing. But then it going back to what the Father was saying. It's all about that one, Deborah. Don't get locked in. Because don't forget what I just told you the other day. That truth is already in them. And if I'm already, my wrath is up there already against them, what are you doing down here? Don't get too off balance. Stay with me now. Stay with me. Know what you're dealing with. You're going to know what you're dealing with because I gave you the gift and the ability to know. Don't get off a track. Just know. And that's the beauty of the Ruach HaKodesh, which nobody don't want. Because they want everything outside of that. Because they figure, hey, that's the deal right here. If I can just live in the world and claim it, name it that I'm in there, I'm good. I don't need it. That's the mindset of many people. They feel they don't even need the Holy Spirit. Because all they need is what they've been having and what they got. Oh, but that day is at the door. And the door is already open. That's how deep it is. When many things going to be taken away. And whoa, you're going to see cuckoo clock come out of everybody. They ain't going to know if they're going or coming. They're going to still be trying to look to see if it's still a way for them to continue. And they ain't going to have no way. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, I hope you got something out of the message today. And the main thing was the word truth. The second thing was also showing you how in Genesis, it was never the will of the Father that man have dominion over the earth. It was always the will of the Father that male and female have dominion. Dominion, that means power on this earth. To rule even the fish in the sea, the fowls. Everything he did it for the male and female to work together. But the male stole the identity of the female from the beginning. And the only way they could do that is to rewrite the book, separate from what the scrolls even say. See, they can do that. They can do that. Why? They have the scrolls, y'all. They have the Ark of the Covenant. They can do that. And they've been doing it. That's how they've been ruling the world. They got everything in there that was said to sit Judah and Israel. They couldn't hold on to nothing, not even their Yah. All right, Sister Deborah says, shalom and shalom.